Hey everyone, it's Jayme, and today we are doing the latest build challenge from Lilsimsie, where she created another shell challenge. How a shell challenge works is another simmer, usually one that's pretty popular and pretty big, like Lilsimsie, creates kind of like a shell. And the rules are you can do anything to it, except you cannot change the outside walls or any walls. If there's any walls pre-built or that come downloaded into it, you cannot delete or change them. I believe you're allowed to change the wall heights, or at least that's how her last challenge went. I kind of assumed how that it was fine to change the wall heights once again. I generally I know some simmers say that you cannot play on or it's hard to build on a medium or large, and that they prefer small for the wall height. I'm definitely in the boat of tall. I generally think is a little harder to fill. If you're definitely going for something that you want it to have height, then yes, you could definitely go for large walls. But most homes, I think, definitely work better on a small or medium. However, I can never work with a small. I just don't like how the walls look or how the windows look on small walls. And I think that's because I prefer bigger windows anyways. So I am working here on a medium-sized wall. Another thing is I was going for more of a suburban family home kind of style home. For those who have been following my channel for a while, I mostly build Victorians. It's very often, it's not at all very often that I kind of branch out. If you go on my Sims gallery, I have a little more, but for the most part, I'm mostly building Victorian era homes. I'm not really interested in suburban, mid-century kind of homes at all. No, that ain't my jam. However, here I was definitely going for more of a modern, suburban home. The roofing, I was definitely looking at a lot of kind of McMansions and how they do roofing, because a lot of McMansions they combine so many architectural styles, it's really hard to roof, so their roofs end up kind of looking a little funky. And because of the way Lilsimsie built this shell, there really was no good way to roof it. She even said it herself, so I don't feel bad saying that. But that's kind of I guess part of the challenge is trying to figure out, oh god, what do we do? Definitely going into this, I knew I wanted not to do another Victorian, because I always do Victorians, and it's fun to really just branch out sometimes and try something new. I definitely here play with a lot of different doors and windows. I end up mostly using, for the doors, I use Seasons doors for the most part, which is what I end up sticking with. As you see, I just put down Strangerville door. It will leave. I end up using some Seasons doors, and then for all of the windows eventually end up using just cats and dogs. Just because I had except for I think the window in the kitchen, that one ends up being technically a different pack, but the rest of the windows end up coming from cats and dogs. Here I have a weird mismatch, and I end up just, deciding to go for one pack. Here I was definitely, thinking of trying to fit the stairs into there. You'll see later as we get up onto the second floor, I realize, no, it ain't gonna work, and I kind of have to, because for some reason the game wasn't just letting me delete the stairs. I had to do undo, and pretty much lose all of the work I did on the floor plan down here. But for the most part, I ended up keeping the floor plan the same downstairs. But I kind of just realized, the floor plan upstairs was just not gonna work with on the stairs where they were. Or they definitely could have if maybe I was doing a smaller home. I don't know. What I really wanted was a minimum of 3 bedrooms. And if you definitely like this build but want more rooms, there's a office I have downstairs by the kitchen that you could convert into another bedroom if you want. This home ends up having 2 full bathrooms, meaning, you know, there's a shower, a sink, a toilet in each of them. There ends up being a laundry room. End up building kind of a weird shaped room, and it ends up having to become a laundry room, as well as there's also a living room, and then kind of a dining room slash kitchen, kind of like open concept kind of feel to it. I don't usually play with open concept floor plans, you know, just don't. Like I said, I usually build Victorians, which are notorious for having maze-like hallways, but I definitely like when I do some like open floor planning. I feel like it always kind of looks nice. But yeah, here, this little weird room here I just built here, that ends up being the laundry room. I really like how it looks, and it definitely, I feel like, fits, because I feel like most laundry rooms are kind of the weird spare room, or the weird room in the house that you don't really go into, you know? And I definitely have a feeling maybe this house, just by looking at it architecturally, probably was built and then had some weird additions by maybe some architects who maybe were not as skilled, or were definitely a little bit more modern, forward thinking. Like the living room here, which is that kind of bump out in the front there. Yeah, that ends up being the living room, and architecturally it's a very odd angle. I think it ends up looking fine. But yeah, here I'm switching out some more of the doors. The door that ends up being there on the back ends up actually being from Moschino stuff. I switch it out from that short door, because I said I end up, you know, here I switched back to small wall lengths, but then I'm going to switch back to medium, because I don't like how small it looks, and I think it's just because I prefer the bigger windows. Also, there are no good small arches in my opinion. I just think, I didn't realize it till I was working on this, but all of the small arches in the game are kind of annoying. And you know, some of, I think, for me, when I do archways, I prefer them to be 2 tile. I think the 1 tile small arches look fine, but I prefer 2 tile, and the 2 tiles small arches I just don't think are good. So I end up switching back to the medium height, and it ends up really working better for what I wanted. As you see there, I kind of like that nice little hallway going right through the middle of the house. I really like that. Here I'm looking for a door that sits on 2 squares. And the reason for this is because I knew I was going to have a lot of doors also that were close to the wall or close to an angle in the house. And I just feel like they look better when you use the 2 tile, because then they're a little further away from the like direct angle, so they're not like nestled in, if you will. The floor plan changes a lot in this house. So you see here, I'm struggling once again with upstairs. I don't know what to say. I was really struggling. I just didn't know what I wanted, I guess you could say. But, you know, I end up liking how the house comes out. Those stairs I change around a bit. Also, I think overall, I'm pretty happy with the house. It's probably not the best house I've ever built, but I do like it. And I think also that's what I really like about these shell challenges, as I feel like if they don't work out well or don't look good, I can always blame the person who created the shell a little. However, though, I actually am pretty happy with how this one came out. So thank you, Lilsimsie. So much, I actually like this so much, I'm thinking about including this in my SimSave file. If you didn't know, this is something I've been talking about since I started this channel. Is I've been making a SimSave file, which is part of the reason I made this channel, is hoping to get enough of a audience and enough people who like my builds that they'd be interested in my SimSave file. But I was thinking I might use in my SimSave file. I feel like it might be kind of cheating, because, you know, I didn't come up with the design. You know, I think I really, the fun part, I think, also about these kind of builds, these shell builds, is that you really transform it and make it your own. This back porch here, I kind of hate it, but because of the way, once again, that roofing was created with the box under it, it just, like I said, this house has some interesting architecture. But you know, I think I make it work. I do my best to make it not awful. But what I think, good job on Lilsimsie for making such a, like, her shell, even though it's difficult and it's hard to work with, it's not impossible, and it's also not ugly. I think sometimes sim shell challenges, like, the shell will just be like, you'll look at it and you'll be like, ooh, I don't know what to do with this. Anyways, this is actually my second time doing a Sims shell challenge on this channel, as well as the first one was also by Lilsimsie. That one was kind of a mess, in the sense that I kind of technically cheated, in which I added an extra floor, but not really, because I wasn't using that extra floor. Pretty much I was using it to build a French imperial style roof so I can make it into like a gothic home. And I was thinking, oh, I could probably do that again here, but no, I decided I just wanted to do something very, I don't know, a little more simple. I don't know if simple is the right word. Something that followed the rules a little more, and also I just didn't want to do another Victorian. I know that's strange to hear from me. I almost kind of don't believe it, but I didn't want. I just wanted to do a standard family home. Also, that kitchen, if you're wondering, oh god, that kitchen's awful. Don't worry, I go back and change it, because yeah, even I was like, yeah, no, this ain't it, fam. I think at the time I was still thinking of using the room next to the dining room maybe as another bedroom, but I ended up just deciding, you know what, it's a study, but if someone who downloaded this needs another room, just turn it into a room, it's fine. The color of the house, I picked this brown, and I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It definitely, I think it matches kind of like the quirkiness of the house. Here I'm changing the floor plan upstairs again, and what I want is I just wanted to create another bathroom, because originally I was just gonna have one downstairs, and then at one point I was thinking of turning one of the bedrooms upstairs into a bathroom and having it be a 2-bedroom, and I was like, no, I really prefer 3. That way, you know, if you're playing in this, if you really wanted, you could do a family, maybe have 2 kids. You could even turn one of them, I was thinking more of like a teen room, so have a bigger bed in there. You could turn that into 2 twin-sized beds, make it a twins room, or not even just twins, it's like 2 siblings near each other's age. But my idea behind it is that it's probably a teen and then a younger child, like definitely not a toddler, but you know, like a child. And then 2 parents. Even after that, the floor plan is going to change a little bit more. Here you see I'm changing the kitchen again. I definitely, as I was building this, I changed the floor plan a lot. And yeah, but anyway, I had a lot of fun with this. You can download it off the gallery. My username is Jaymehorne, Jaymehorne, one word. As well as you can, if you really want to, I really suggest anyone who loves building to go and download this shell off of Lilsimsie's page and just start playing around. Anyways, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one, and make sure to like and subscribe and check out some of my other content. Thank you, and I'll see you later.